Are you ready for some monkey business, Kathy?
Always ready for monkey business. You know, especially when Oz Perkins bringing the monkey business. And I'm really on board for that. Oh my God.
Yeah.
I just love Oz Perkins.
You know, Oz Perkins, who obviously did Longlegs, which was sort of his breakout film.
Yes.
Like that was the small film that garnered great reviews and did very well at the box office last summer. But he also did some other films that are just really worth checking out that are available streaming. And he wrote and directed this brand new film based on a Stephen King story and produced by James Wan. So you have a lot of sort of people that know what they're doing in that world of horror, sort of upscale horror, I would consider Oz Perkins,
Upscale.
And yes. And
art house horror. I would
art house horror. Yes. And this is based on a 1980 short story by Stephen King, which I remember reading, called The Monkey. Cool. And it's a film that's coming out in 2025. I actually don't know the release.
If you release the film in the early part of the year, it means the studios are kind of dumping it. But sometimes that happens with kind of art house films or like neon films. Like, it doesn't necessarily mean, and also this does not mean it's not a good movie. It just means that by their metrics, they think it won't be a big hit. So they just kind of drop them out there and then they want to just get it up on streaming. But Oz Perkins, I know it'll be good.
Theo James, Tatiana Maslany, who I forgot what she was in, but she's really good. Elijah Wood, who's always, great.
I love his career shift where he's just doing all this cool art house horror. I love that.
So he did. Yeah, it's. But Tatiana, what is she? I got to figure out what she was in. Sorry, she was in Orphan Black. Okay. But there's something else that she was. Oh gosh, I'll figure it out. But she was She-Hulk. It's an interesting cast, and of course it's Oz Perkins. So let's check out the trailer to The Monkey.
Okay, here we go.
Okay, let's do it.
For the longest time, there was nothing.
Assault us with his name.
But then it appeared. A beast not from this earth.
Oh, I like this fake.
Smiting the ones who deserved it. The ones who didn't. And everyone in between.
What's gonna happen there?
Whoever controls it controls life and death. And those deaths are really fucked up.
Holy shit.
Everybody dies.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
And that's life.
It's a goddamn mess in there. Have you been up there? It's like that restaurant. Spaghetti City.
Oh no.
Everything okay in there?
Oh my God.
Yeah, everything's fine.
Whoa.
Come on, baby, let's have some fun.
Okay, I'm in love with that trailer. That's the best thing I've ever seen. Oh my God. Oh, it had that same, we just looked at the 28 Days Later trailer, and it had the kind of very odd audio of that poem you were talking about. And then this one had kind of similar, where it had that old music kind of, and the sound effects felt a little muffled and weird. Like, it felt very art house and cool.
It was quirky because there's like some stuff that's kind of humorous in there. Yeah. You're seeing a guy with his, somebody with their head on fire. Then you have the weird music, and then, everybody dies. And then Theo James, who, the actor in there, I remember him from The White Lotus. He played like the, sort of like, uber rich jackass. And he's sort of like, like everything's okay, but there's blood all over everywhere. So, it just looks really wild, and it's a trailer where you don't know what the story's about, other than there's a wind-up monkey toy somehow causing some problems.
I love that. Yes. I love that, because in the original Monkey Shines, I guess they called it, it was a service animal.
Yes, that was Monkey Shines, which was a George Romero thing, which was that was definitely a an evil monkey or whatever.
This one looks good because it looks like this is some kind of evil artifact or something that's making things happen. So it almost seems like here's a family traveling and they stop at this hotel and it all goes awry somehow.
Right.
It looks great. I love the flashing trees, like just great. Like
he's really like a very he's a director that, you know, I mean, his father was obviously a great actor and was in Psycho, but so maybe he's like I think he has that Anthony, he has this incredible sort of like, I'm going to try to do Hitchcockian sort of stuff, which is like beautiful direction, interesting, weird sort of like dark humor is part of his filmmaking. It's horror, but it's got this really dark black humor to it, which is really interesting. Really. And so even though this is a February release, I think over the last couple of years, some good movies get released there just because feeling is like because of streaming and everything else, it's more of a it's not like let's put everything out in the summertime or the spring. Let's put a couple of gems early that will sort of catch fire, and if it doesn't kick ass at the box
office, like a stroller or a man's head,
like a stroller man's head, yes. So I'm hoping that this is, you know, as good as Oz Perkins, you know, can do. And so I'm excited to see it. It looks good.
I'm excited to see it. It looks really cool. And we have a poster, kind of what you would expect. The cool monkey. This is a very cool monkey toy. I have to say, it's a creepy. Whoever built this prop, good job.
Yeah.
It's a very good prop. And I like the title's kind of wacky too. Like the monkey, like it's
right.
What that means. But yeah, very interested in this. I love the idea of Stephen King and Oz Perkins on the same project in a way, which is pretty cool. And I think I'm keeping my head. I'm still trying to figure out what this movie's about. But it looks like it's just, you know, if the thing starts maybe beating the drum, it creates havoc.
You know, it's one. I think it's, you know, I read the story, but I really haven't read it in about 40 years. But I think it's one of those things, you know, a haunted artifact of some sort. You know, whether it's a creepy doll or in this case it's a toy that somehow has some connection that causes people to go crazy. And so maybe they find this, and they make the mistake of putting the key in, turning, winding it up, and stuff causes, you know, that starts the madness and the.
Exactly. And the only thing we have, like IMDb has, the only thing we know, and this, who knows, and this is a very, very simplified logline. When twin brothers Bill and Hal find their father's old monkey toy in the attic, a series of gruesome deaths start. The siblings decide to throw the toy away and move on with their lives, growing apart over the years. That sounds all very sad, but this does not look sad. It's like, you know what happens when you throw an evil toy away? Someone finds it and makes it happen again. So not cool, guys. You just kept it in the attic where it belonged. Leave it alone.
Right.
Oh my God. So, now someone else's problem.
But it looks, you know, Oz Perkins. When I go in there, I have this really high expectation for really quality filmmaking, and not necessarily jump scares, but just putting you in a weird place. You know, when you watch something, it's just odd and different, and that can be very creepy. And I think he knows how to do that. So I'm excited to see this. Stephen King, James Wan, a good cast, of course. Oz Perkins. I mean, come on, this
is a horror orgy. It's like it's too much horror all in one place. I just don't even know how we're gonna be able to live through that. But we will.
We will. So all right. Coming out February 21st. So we'll do a review of that one for sure when it comes out. So thanks everybody for watching. Thanks for liking, commenting, subscribing, and we'll see you guys.